Have you ever felt like there's just this nonstop chatter inside your own head? You know, a constant noise that just pulls you away from what you really want to be doing? Well, in this explainer, we're going to dive into why our minds run so wild, and, more importantly, how we can actually train them to find that focus, that calm, and that sense of purpose we're all looking for.
Does this sound familiar? You wake up, you've got clear intentions, maybe a to-do list, a goal for the day, but then it's evening and you look back and you can barely remember what you even did. There's this famous story about an executive who told leadership coach Marshall Goldsmith that when his wife asked him what he did all day, his honest-to-goodness answer was, I don't know, I don't even remember. His entire day was spent just reacting, jumping from one thing to the next, completely losing sight of his own plan.
So, what is the culprit behind all this mental chaos and lost time? Well, it's a concept that's been understood for thousands of years, and it's got a name: the monkey mind. This is that part of us that lets our focus get hijacked by pretty much everything and anything, leaving our own dreams and desires feeling, well, really far away.
What's absolutely amazing is just how ancient this idea is. The Buddha used this exact metaphor to describe the human mind. He pictured it as this restless monkey, never still, just swinging wildly from one branch to the next. I mean, is there a more perfect image for that feeling of being pulled in a dozen different directions at once? I don't think so. So at its core, the monkey mind is this unsettled, scattered state. You're trying to work on a project, and then suddenly your brain jumps to what's for dinner, then to a bill you forgot to pay, then to something weird someone said to you yesterday. See, without any training, this monkey runs the whole show, and we completely lose our ability to move in one clear, chosen direction.
But listen, this isn't just some ancient metaphor. This is a documented neurological reality. So what exactly is happening inside our brains when that monkey takes over? Let's get into the science of it all.
Okay, get ready for this number: 60,000. That is the estimated number of thoughts our minds produce every single day. With that sheer volume of mental traffic, it is no wonder we feel overwhelmed. Our brain is literally a thought-generating machine, and without a driver, it just produces a whole lot of noise.
And this isn't just about productivity. This is about our happiness. Researchers from Harvard actually discovered that this constant mind-wandering has a real emotional cost. And their conclusion is so important. When our minds are just left to wander, our well-being suffers. It might be our brain's default setting, but that definitely doesn't mean it makes us happy.
So, the neurological home of the monkey mind is something called the default mode network, or the DMN. You can think of it like your brain's autopilot. When you aren't actively focused on something specific, the DMN just kicks in, and you start daydreaming, or replaying the past, or worrying about the future. It's the system that can totally hijack your attention when you're not looking.
And when that autopilot system is overactive, well, there are real consequences. Research has linked an overactive DMN to lower cognitive control, which is the very ability to direct our own thoughts. It's also way more active in people experiencing things like depression and anxiety, where that monkey gets stuck on the most negative branches over and over again. But, and this is a big but, we are not stuck with this. There is an alternative to the chaotic monkey mind. It's about consciously choosing a different way of being, a state we can call the monk mind. This is where we learn to tell our mind who's boss.
I mean, just look at the contrast here. It is stark. The monkey mind is reactive and anxious, always looking outside for the next distraction or hit of happiness. But the monk mind? It's proactive and calm, and it understands that true happiness isn't found out there somewhere. It has to be cultivated from within. It's the difference between being a passenger in your own life and being the one in the driver's seat.
So how in the world do we make that shift? It all starts with this one profound realization. You are not the chaotic monkey. You are the calm awareness that is watching the monkey. Just creating that little bit of space between you and your thoughts, that is the first and most powerful step toward taking back control.
And the great news is that mental discipline is not some gift you're born with. It is a skill. And just like any skill, it can be trained. And we're not talking about complex, time-consuming practices. These are simple, powerful tools you can start using to build that mental muscle today.
All right, let's start with the very first 60 seconds of your day. Instead of grabbing your phone and just letting the world's agenda flood your mind, try this. Just wake up, then pause for 1 minute, and then intentionally direct your mind. Decide, okay, today I'm going to be focused. Today I'm going to be calm. You are setting the direction for your day before the monkey even has a chance to start swinging.
Okay, here is a brilliant little technique for dealing with those sticky negative thoughts. It's called cognitive diffusion. When you notice a thought pop up like, ugh, I always mess things up, just reframe it. By simply adding the phrase, I'm having the thought that, you create distance. All of a sudden, the thought isn't an absolute truth anymore. It's just a passing mental event that you're observing.
And if you need an emergency brake, this is it. Your breath. That's all. Research actually shows that after a neurochemical trigger, your brain chemistry can return to normal in about 90 seconds. Taking just 3 or 4 slow, deep breaths is enough to interrupt that whole cycle, calm your nervous system, and bring your attention right back to this moment.
You know, the word discipline can sound a little restrictive, can it? But here's the thing. True mental discipline isn't about limitation. It is all about liberation. It's about freedom.
This insight is just so critical. The undisciplined mind is a cluttered mind, right? It's filled with the guilt of procrastination and the regret of wasted time. A disciplined mind, one that you have trained, is clear. It is free from all that noise, which gives you the peace and the space to actually live your life with real intention.
The Stoic emperor Marcus Aurelius knew this 2,000 years ago. The world is always going to be chaotic. We can't control outside events, but what we can control is our response to them. And that power, the power over our own mind, is the ultimate source of our strength and our resilience.
So I'll just leave you with this one question. Every single day, your mind is running on a program. The question is it being written by random notifications and whatever the world throws at you, or are you going to be the one to sit down and consciously write the code? The choice, as always, is yours. Thanks for joining this explainer.